Well, hello, family. This is Toast to Love. I'm Isaac McJimsey.
And I am Jackie McJimsey.
And we're just glad today to have two good friends of ours. We actually go way back. We go back a couple of decades.
Yes,
That's hard to believe and say, but we do. Jerry and Vilma Allen. And we want to do a belated happy anniversary to you guys.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, before we dive into the questions, where did you guys go for your anniversary?
Well, it's like this. Last year was our 50th, 2020. But right March the 14th is when the COVID came through and we canceled our celebration. We had a big festivity. Kids had a big festivity, waiting for us up in Charlotte, but we had to cancel out. So we waited a whole year and we just said, in March of this year, we said, we are going somewhere. We're getting out of here. We're going to try to make up for this because we were going to go on a big trip after the celebration. Yeah. But we went last month, we went to Kiowa Island.
All right.
And, South Carolina. And
very nice.
Oh man, that was just, I started to defect down there.
Oceanfront.
Yeah.
Oceanfront Villa.
Oceanfront Villa.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Food, man. We were right on the ocean and we could see the wind. It was a little windy. Yeah. We had some rain, but most of the time it was good. It was just sunlight. And we had a chance to be with each other, and we did shopping and we ate good. We ate high on the hog. Okay.
My favorite thing to do.
That's
yeah.
Good deal.
It's a beautiful place.
So
wonderful.
So tell us this. How did you guys meet?
All right, I'll take that one. Vilma and I were both in college. I was in Ohio, Southern Ohio, and she was in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Wow.
And we were in our last year, going into our last year of college, and I had just gotten out of the service and I was just trying to finish up my last year. So I was there and I had an apartment, and my brother was at school with me also. So he had a friend who was dating a girl in Knoxville, and they used to communicate on these little round reel-to-reel tapes.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Probably, I don't know if you know about those, but they were communicating. Yeah. And so the guy's name was Willie. He came over. My brother brought him over to my house because I had a reel-to-reel recorder. So he brought his tape over and put it on, and they were just talking all lovey-dovey. And at the end of the tape, the girls in the dormitory in Knoxville said they were all saying good night to him. And then this voice came on. This voice came on and said, "Good night, Mr. Dykes. Good night." I said, "Whoa, whoa. Play it back. Play it back."
Yes, play that back.
Played it back about 10 times. He played it back about 10 times. And I said, "When you send your tape back to her, let me say something to that girl with that beautiful voice." Wow. And that's how it started.
That is so phenomenal.
And we started taping each other and communicating. She and I, Vilma and I, we started communicating back and writing letters and phone calls. So that's how it started.
Wow. And look, many years later, you guys have built a life. I think that's the message we want to send a lot of couples who are thinking about getting married or courting, is that you want to build a life with someone, and not that it's easy, but that's the reward. That's the reward.
It is a reward.
Awesome. Well, how long was it after you were going reel to reel? Because there's no video in reel to reel.
Ain't no video.
How long was it before you saw each other?
Well, we did. What year was it?
I can't remember.
We can't remember back that far. But we were, I was going home for the summer at school for my last year, and I lived in Youngstown, Ohio, and the guy that was communicating with my brother's friend invited Vilma to come to Cleveland to work.
Cleveland,
in
Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio, and that was just 65 miles away. So I went up on weekends after work, and we met in 1969, I think it was.
Wow.
That's we met in Cleveland, and it started from there.
Well, y'all just debunked the whole adage right there, because people go, it all depends on what you look like. You know, now it's such a show me, see me thing. It's like, if I don't see you, I don't know. But now, you know, that's amazing.
That is
That is amazing.
She was also a singer, and I heard her voice, you
Wow.
know. So I said, "Oh, something's to this. We better get on this right now."
That right now. That is awesome. All the years of us knowing you, we didn't know that story. Every time a couple tells a story of how they met, it's just a joyous time because it's the beginnings. So we only know you guys to be servants. We met you guys through Impact Ministries and even through Teen Straight Talk. You guys have served the community. You've served your families. Tell us this. This is our we skipped the question, but I want to go into why is serving one another and what are some of the ways you serve each other? Why is that so important?
Well, I feel like serving dampens selfishness. If you know, when you give yourself and your motive is pure, you know, sometimes we don't want to marry just because, and I did not marry him just because of what he had or necessarily what I thought I could get from him. I loved him because of who he was. So in service, it's the same thing. I do what I do out of love. And I'm not looking for, now what can you do for me? So that's my mindset in terms of serving.
Good deal. That's so awesome. And in the culture today, we try to stay in tune so that we can counsel couples and give information back to what is the culture saying. And they're saying the opposite of what you just said is, what can you do for me? How can you add value to my life versus, and I love what you said, Ms. Vilma, is that it dampens selfishness. And family, we ought to put that on a t-shirt.
That needs to be on a t-shirt.
Let's dampen selfishness, because we can all be inclined to that tendency of what's in it for me.
We can go into business and have that printed on some towels.
Dampen selfishness.
Dampen selfishness.
I love it.
Love will power that. Love will power sacrificial giving and serving. So if it's love, then it should, you know, be for the other person and not you looking for something for yourself. So that's the way I view that.
For me, it was an opportunity to duplicate the love of God, with her, and as well, out of total respect and gratitude for the gift that God sent me. And that's why we served. That's why I served her, you know, because out of just pure gratitude, because that was a wonderful thing that happened to me at that time in my life.
Awesome.
So what do you guys think is a key to a successful marriage?
Wow, you got a couple hours.
Let me get my sweet tea over here and pull up a seat.
Okay, my take on marriage and success is everything has to be intentional. So intentional for us was intentional trust. Develop intentional trust. And the other key is to listen with compassion. Listen with compassion. And the one thing that we had to learn how to do was to let go. There are times when we tried to hold on to different things in our lives, our past and history and all that, but we had to come to a point where we had to let that go and let God work in our lives. And the other key that I saw in our marriage was, I call it financial stability. Okay, it was a success. You know, being debt free, and I'll tell you, we got to a point where just recently, a couple years before, maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that's where we became debt free after 50 years. You know, the house was paid off,
awesome.
everything, and to see that house payment, you can just hold it every month, you know, in your hand, and it doesn't
It's a beautiful thing.
That, to me, that was success. What do you think?
Well, I was just looking here in terms of being successful is you got to keep letting go, keep moving forward, and keep learning the new.
Yeah.
Don't hang on to past relationships. That needs to, I mean, even while you're dating, that should be out there someplace. You're not, you know, trying to do two things at one time. Get rid of, don't keep, you know, past childhood hurts or destructive behavior. You know, all of us come out of different families and different settings and that sort of a thing, and we can bring some of that into our love relationship. And we have to be very careful of that as well. So we want to be building. We want to be building, continuously building our relationship more and more, greater and greater, and allowing the Lord to just do what he can through us and really to us so that we can be one.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Yeah.
You know, guys, you know, knowing you a while, and you guys have a terrific family. You know, we know, you know, most of your family, and we know that y'all have had business success. You've had success in ministry. The next question just talks about legacy. You know, even at our stage of life, we think about, you reflect on, hey, what is my legacy? What am I going to be remembered for? What am I going to be known for? So my question to you is, what do you feel that you guys' legacy is?
That's a good question, and that's where we are right now in our lives. You know, we look at our marriage and our relationship in quarters or halves. Like we're in the third quarter right now of our life. Yes, we're trying to establish an example, a permanent example with our family, with our kids, grandkids, and even with our family and friends, our Christian friends, our church friends. We're trying to set an example so that it can be patterned and learned, especially by our grandchildren, you know. But with our grandkids, legacy is like intentional, here we go again, intentional training, you know, training them to be good stewards of Christ. Okay. And but we came up back in Ohio after we got saved, and there were many strong saints in our lives who set the example, who set the legacy for us. We learned from them. I mean, we really learned. And then there were others in our own family, besides the different saints. There were different people that we had in our lives who just stood behind us and let us make mistakes and kind of guided us through our lives and what we were going through. And my mentors, I had mentors, you know, they set a legacy before me. You know, I had an uncle who had lived to 110, and I really, even my mentor, I learned a lot from him, That's
amazing.
So, what do you think?
I'm looking here. A legacy also is watching our children grow into full-grown adults. Hard workers and givers. And givers, and certainly making sure that their relationship with Christ is intact.
That's right. Most important.
Yeah, you know, you start to think about that as they get older, and we're, of course, you know, we're stewards of that when they're younger, and then you know, hopefully we continue to develop that relationship, and you don't have as much stewarding. You get to see the seeds that you planted. You get to water them a little bit, and they grow. And it's not easy. That's not an easy stage of life, because just like us, you know, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to go down certain paths, and we have to still be supportive of them. And so it's a great time, but it is a time where you really have to be prayerful.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Lots of love too.
And
Well, most definitely.
Prayer is the key to all of this that we're talking about. You know, our marriage, prayer, and for each other, you know, as husband and wife. That's how we survive, is with prayer. You know, we've been prayed through so many times, and we have had the opportunity to pray for one another, and we still do that. That's just natural. It's part of our lives. You know?
That's right.
That's one of the things that we hope to begin to keep flourishing with our marriage ministry, is couples helping couples, because we need couples in every stage of life and in every phase of life, because we need to glean off of that knowledge. And you know, it's funny, in our practice we've been seeing where, you know, we ask couples, so, you know, hey, what did you model your marriage after? And they'll go, oh, the Huxtables, or Jay-Z and Beyonce. I'm like, you do realize that's not real. Or, you know, even Jay-Z and Beyonce are married, but you do realize they've had major problems in their marriage and they've come out about it. So it's really awesome that, you know, that you believe that it is important. And we believe also it's so important to have you guys in our lives, and just to watch. You know, we thankful that you guys share on Facebook. You put your marriage, you put your years you've been out there. It's so important. And people need that, because, you know, marriage is not on the top of the list right now.
Tell her about the presentations, and we would introduce ourselves at a Teen Straight Talk presentation, and Vilma will say, and this is my husband of 45 years.
Wow.
And the kids would, oh,
immediate
I mean, we got a standing ovation, you know, because a lot of the kids have never seen that. They've never seen
that.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And that's what we're striving for. I mean, that's, you know, that's what a legacy. That is a legacy. So guys, we're coming to the end of our cast. We're you know, this time goes by quick.
It does.
But I do have a final question for you guys before we close out, is that what would you tell a younger couple, a couple just getting married? What would you tell them, you know, a little tidbit of advice to help them to get to that 45 years and 50 and beyond? What would you tell them?
You know, it may sound trite, but again, it's all about love and not being selfish. Stay in the presence of God, stay in prayer, listen to your spouse, even watch your spouse. We have to be alert as to sensing, he may need encouragement today, or she may need to hear me say, I love you, baby. You know, so paying attention is one thing, and being present and being engaged. And again, you can't be selfish with that.
Yeah.
You're always giving out, giving out.
I look at it like, from the computer technology standpoint, it's having a default setting. Okay, where you always you go into marriage with a made-up mind that it's going to work, and you're going to be sure that it's going to happen. You know, so you do everything that you can to be the part of making that marriage work. Okay, there are going to be times when you're going to have conflict and there's questions and things come up, but the ultimate goal is to make it work. Okay, make it work. And then coming up with all of the decisions that you make in life are godly decisions. Okay, the bottom line, the goal is to make good, godly decisions about everything. Everything.
Awesome.
Good deal. Well, family, we just salute and we make a toast. We toast to the love of Jerry and Vilma Allen. What a legacy! 51 years and counting. And guys, we're looking forward to you guys and continuing to engage with us, and as we continue with Marriage Uncut, and we thank God for you for being a godly example, because that's what's needed now, and that's what God requires of us. And so we salute you guys for that. Thank you for being part of Toast to Love. Family, we got some great things coming up in the next couple of months. This is our final episode of season 1, but we're going to have some marriage moments coming up periodically. So check us out. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel, which is Toast to Love TV. And also you can get us on Facebook. Is Marriage Uncut is our Facebook group. And we're on iTunes. We're on Anchor. So if you want to look us up, just put in your search engine Toast to Love TV and you'll find us. So until next time, family, we look forward to seeing you, and we just bid God's grace and peace to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.